To all of the young men out there, let's talk about being proactive, not reactive. Do you have a man plan? Too many young men and women have no idea what they're going to do in life. They have no goals, no purpose. They live to post selfies and watch Netflix. This is a sad existence. At a minimum, a man plan needs to address occupation, goals, your finances, your timeline, and milestones. Let's start with occupation. Unless you are independently wealthy, everyone is going to need a job to earn money and pay the bills. Some jobs are fun and glamorous and make lots of money. Other jobs are simply means to earn money. With the exception of immoral occupations, I want to make it clear to you that all work is honorable. I also want to highlight that you have a job. You aren't your job. Does that make sense? This is the difference between having and being. Your identity needs to come from who you are, not what you do for a living. Because most people spend so much time at work, it is wise, however, to find a job that you enjoy. This adds peace to your life and helps you feel self-actualized. But if you can't do what you love, then you need to man up and do something that pays the bills and supports your family. I've already made a video which gives some very solid advice for career planning. If you haven't yet seen this video, you should watch it. I'll leave a link in the video description. A life goal is something you want to do or to accomplish. It is sometimes related to your job, as in your goal is to start your own business. Or perhaps your goal is to find a job where you get paid to shoot guns and jump out of airplanes. But most of your life goals should not be related to your job. Let your job simply be a way of paying for your life goals. For example, a goal might be to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef, or to spend the summer in France and learn how to speak French. Perhaps you want to get married and have a large family. If you don't have any goals, you will be sure to never accomplish anything. The first thing you need to plan for is your job. You can't have a man plan without a way to pay for it. You can't live in the basement of your parents' house and play video games forever. This is not being a man. This is being a loser. Then you need to make a budget. If you make $1,000 a month, then you need to budget and live off of $1,000 a month. If you make $10,000 a month, then you need to budget and live off of half of it and invest and save the other half. The goal is to be self-sufficient. If you want to have a family, then somewhere in your plan, you need to be able to make enough money to provide for your wife and kids. Being in debt is unacceptable. Mooching off of your parents forever is unacceptable. Living off of government handouts indefinitely is unacceptable. Be a man and plan to earn your living. Once you have a job and an income, then you need to save for an emergency fund. Your emergency fund should have enough money in it to buy some emergency plane tickets, replace appliances, pay for major repairs to your house or car, and cover ever-rising medical bills. Your man plan should involve paying cash for everything. The normalness of having debt in any form is a very sad indicator of the horrible decline of the collective American character. This goes for your automobile as well. Driving a car is a privilege, not a right. If you can't afford it, then don't buy it. Wait until you can afford to pay cash for it. The only thing you should ever buy on credit is your house. And the last part of your financial plan is to prepare for your retirement. Because I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in so-called safe investments, I'm not a fan of mutual funds or the 401k retirement illusion. There are too many factors that are outside of your control. Perhaps an epidemic could shut down the world's economy in a matter of months, and your lifetime of investing is only a fraction of the value. Better to have invested your money in your house or real estate, or a business, or saved more. Or you could get a government job that pays a retirement, though I imagine this privilege will also go away in the next 20 years or so. Your man plan better include what to do when you get old and you no longer want to or are able to work. Let's move on to timeline and milestones. All good man plans require a timeline with milestones. Of course, things will change and you'll need to be flexible, but a man with a plan is always more successful than a boy without one. One great tool that you can use when planning is to backwards plan. I've already made a video about backwards planning, so if you haven't already watched that video, I recommend you do so. I'll leave a link in the video description. I also want to warn you against having bad advisors. Most people out there are total knuckleheads, so please take advice only from those people you respect. I don't want to bore you with my life story, but I will talk through my man plan and just give you a couple quick examples. My first attempt at a man plan was written when I was very young. I knew I wanted to change the world. So I had a plan to go to a good university and then serve in the military as long as I could. In order to get into a good university, I knew I had to study hard, make good grades, and be exceptional. So I studied hard. I served in many leadership positions in sports clubs and at school. I volunteered at my local congressman's office, and I earned my Eagle Scout. But I didn't get accepted to my dream university, so I moved on from Plan A to Plan B. And after ROTC, I got commissioned into the Medical Service Corps. I branched Medical Service Corps because I wanted to fly medevac helicopters. But after applying 2 years in a row, I never got accepted. So I updated my plan again and I applied for Special Forces. As a junior Army officer, I was working off my third revision of my man plan. Here's what it looked like. I still had 16 more years until I was eligible for retirement. So I added in milestones, my probable promotion to major, lieutenant colonel, and retiring at age 41. Then I added in all schools and training. I also put in grad school, hoping I could figure out a way to go. Then I put in my planned jobs. Interestingly enough, here's what my actual jobs were. I even did some family planning. And I made my financial strategy, which included living off of my captain's pay for the rest of my life and investing every pay raise into my house. About 3 years before I retired, my family and I started living off of half of my active duty salary. That way we could prove that we could live off of my Army retirement. My plan was to live off of this Army retirement forever. But for the first 5 years following retirement, I would get a follow-on job, someplace fun to live, and save every single penny I made. And then we would move back home, buy a humble but nice house, and live for the rest of our lives off of my Army retirement, augmented with money from our savings. That would allow me the financial freedom to do charity work and to pursue my creative hobbies via Life as a Special Operation. Thankfully, my man plan was a pretty good one. And through this YouTube channel and my lifeasaspecialoperation.com book collection, I am able to spend my free time inspiring, educating, and strengthening the next generation of leaders. Of course, my man plan has changed many times over the years, but I always had one, and for the most part, it came true. Every man needs a man plan, and every man plan needs to address occupation, goals, finances, timeline, and milestones. I hope you learned something new and are more capable of preparing for your future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep learning and to send this video to a friend who needs to see this. Life is a special operation. Are you ready for it?